All right. Hello, everybody. Hello, Octavia. I'm so happy to have you back here. How are you doing?
Hi, Elisa. I'm also very happy to meet you again, and I'm very happy to share on the regarding the last channelings, last beings that I've been connected with. So it's so much that I would like to share.
Yeah, so Octavia asked me to, bring in the energy of the Blue Avians, which it so happens that I do have that in my galactic heritage up there somewhere. And so I was very excited when she asked me to have her here because they've asked her to kind of talk about them so you guys get to know them, so you feel comfortable with their presence and you start working with them. So, Octavia, um, let's talk about the Blue Avians and anything that you can think of. And of course, I'm sure you're going to be getting some messages as well. We'll do a channeling too. So, what did the Blue Avians want us to know about them?
Firstly, I would share a bit on how I started to connect with them because you were saying about being comfortable with their presence, and I feel that this is very important because when I connected with them first, I was not so comfortable, and I have a little an interesting story about this. It was at it was during a time when I had a class. I was holding a class on lucid dreaming. And we were quite a group. Everything was going in a really interesting way. We learned a lot. We expanded our consciousness a lot. We had all sorts of experiences related to dreaming. But though something happened, one of those nights, so after the class, I had the class late in the evening. After the class, and after all my evening routine and so on, I went to sleep. And during the nighttime, at some point, I wake up and I'm quite panicked. And that's because I could feel that something was pressing on my face. And the feeling was that there are heavy feathers pressing on my face. And it was so amazingly real. I had no doubt that it was someone there with me in the room, though there was definitely no one. So I looked around, I woke up, I looked around, I asked myself, what was that? At some point, my mind made fun and it said, well, I don't know what chicken is here. I have no birds in my room. And, the panic went away very fast. It was mostly like that kind of panic when something happens and you really don't know anything about it. But then I made peace with it and I told myself, okay, that's it. I can go to sleep and maybe something else comes in, maybe I find more out. And what happened was that the next day when I woke up with the name in my mind, Blue Avians. It was very clear. I had no doubt. I had no idea who the Blue Avians were, but it made a lot of sense. I felt like, oh, this is where the feathers came from. And I started to search for them and I got pictures, probably from another channeler. I got pictures quite similar, with what I have here, or in a way or another, like I could get how a blue avian looks like. And then definitely everything made sense. I was very happy. I felt like, okay, this is what happened. I connected with some new higher dimensional beings. That's wonderful. And I could feel, just saying their name in my mind. I would say the blue avians or blue avians. I could already start tuning into their vibration. So it felt like it was not really my first interaction with them. It felt like, oh, maybe I connected with them before, but I was not really aware of that. So after this, it just happened that I became more and more aware of their energy. They started to come in, they started to talk with me. They shared that they are 12 dimensional beings. They have quite a similar energy with the energy of the ascended masters. They share that they are beyond time and space and not to try to relate to them in connection with any star system or constellation because it's not possible. Um, they shared back then that they entitled themselves as the guardians between the passages between realities,
Wow.
which for me was very interesting because at one point I felt like naming them the Time Lords. No, because they talk a lot about time and timelines and how to manipulate different timelines, how to jump timelines, how to change our perspective that time is linear and to be free of this limited perspective. So at one point, I called them, the Time Lords. And this still resonates with me very much. I really feel that they are there to help us to leave aside the perception of time being linear so we can be more playful when it comes to time. They say that there are different time frame realities and we can actually jump from one into another. The time doesn't have the structure that the three-dimensional mind imagines, that time is a very fluid, it's a concept, and we can actually access any moment in from the present moment, any moment in time as a different time frame reality. And this is how they refer to time traveling. So everything that they shared with me and the vibration that they brought, everything was really, really interesting and mind blowing. So what they did next was that after a few days, they keep coming in, they taught me different things um, about how to change these beliefs, how to change my own perception first, of course, so I can bring further their own messages. And then they said, are you interested in medbed activations? And I was like, wow, I think I heard about that. I think at one point I bumped into someone online who was offering medbed activations for 8 hours or something like that. And I even remember that back then, and this was maybe 6 months, 8 months, before I had this thought that, oh, I would like to be able to do that. But then, the thought flew away. I didn't, it didn't stay with me. I didn't try anything. It was more like in my imagination, like, oh, it would be so nice. And then they said, are you interested in the medbed activations? And I said, yeah, of course. And they said, what if you ask for the pictures of all the participants in your class now, and we activate their beds? And I was like, okay, it's, a bit weird. Let's ask all these people for their pictures with their bed. It's not really something that I would have, my mind would have thought before. I said, okay, let's try it out. I'm super curious. Let's see how does this go. And actually, people reacted really nicely. All of them were very happy to share the pictures with their beds where they sleep at night. The Blue Avians offered the guidance that said, please, if you share the bed with someone, inform the other person. And back then I had no clue why, but I shared it further. I said, well, okay, if you share your bed, then you really need to inform the other person. And then I did it. I just opened the pictures one by one. I call upon them. I tune into their frequency. And then I could feel that amazing vibration. It was like my whole body was moving, was vibrating, it just felt lighter, more peaceful, like really still. Everything was there. And then I could hear something like medbed activation initiated. And then I feel that vibration, literally moving for around 10 to 15 minutes, maybe up to 20 minutes. And then they will say medbed activation completed. And, that was all. It felt very strong. I was already really amazed. I could feel that, oh, something really happens. It's working. And then, of course, I shared with the participants in the class and I said, we did it. It happened. Please let me know how you feel. And now the most interesting part comes. that many people said, "Oh, that was so strong that I couldn't sleep. There was so much energy coming in." Then in the following days, there were people saying, "Oh, can you diminish this a bit?" So for me, everything was so new back then. I had no idea how I can ask them to, diminish the energy or adjust it or so on. Nowadays, I know. So what I said was, let it be like this for a while and let's see what happens. And
Hmm.
what happened is that they felt that they tune into the energy. They felt that it comes naturally now when the energy doesn't feel so powerful anymore. And of course, there are always people who are more sensitive and people who are less sensitive. So nowadays, I always tell them when I do a medbed activation, please, if you don't feel anything, that's also fine. You might not be that, having that sensitivity. And some people might feel it stronger and some people will feel it in a milder way. But back then, for the class, everyone felt it. And it was there and it was very obvious. So this is how they gained my trust. And then people started to say that the first effect was that they started to remember their dreams better. And they started to feel that somehow the dream state is connected with what they do into day-to-day life. And this is what they were trying to teach us during the class. That what we call the dream state is not really so dreamy, it doesn't really belong to another reality, but it is the same reality. It's just that we are shifting our frequency. We are completely detaching from our body, which means that we are not identified with it. And we are tuning back into our multidimensionality. And this is when we start generating the dreams. And their aim was to show us how to actually connect the what we call real life, day-to-day life, to the dream state. And this is exactly what happened during the class. We started to have all sorts of experiences, to recognize more and more when we would, when that is a dream and what's the connection between the dream and what happened during the day. We learn how to set different intentions so we can expand our consciousness during the dream state. And then they said, well, this is how you're moving, you know, through different timelines, being aware. And as they entitle themselves as the guardians of the doorways between timelines or between realities, they were the ones to guide us in the dream state. And this is exactly what happened. They were very present. People tune into their vibration. Some people had more clear dreams. Some people really felt that the Blue Avians were there, explaining them how to move with more awareness between these realities or between timelines.
Mm.
And that was my first experience, and because of all this and because of their own vibration, they just convinced me, they kind of melted my heart. I was so much into them, and I'm still nowadays. I'm so happy to, just to be able to feel their presence, be able to help people with the medbed activations, but not only, because they also, they share their energy in different ways. And they say that everyone can call upon them, that they would easily be there. For example, just today I shared a transmission about how to stop aging and how this relates to how we perceive time and mostly how we relate to time being linear. And they said that it's a mind program, a three-dimensional mind program, and they would really like us to learn how to shift from that. And it made so much sense. It just felt that, yeah, of course, it comes from the mind. They say that the body is the mental projection, and you can change it upon your own programming.
Mm.
And that because of the mind seeing time as being linear, and time flowing just in one direction, that is forward, yeah, then it relates with the body, which is aging. And then they shared about their intentions or intentional case, and they share this one, which is probably, you know, it says time flows backward, which is, you know, it creates, they say it creates like a paradox to your mind. So you can break free from those limited beliefs. And it says time flows backward just for you to be able to relate to time in a different way and to understand that you can actually rewind it as well and tune into another time frame reality, even if your mind has the perception that that time frame reality, for example, belongs to the past, but it's there and it's present and it's here. And they actually say it all happens here. It's like you would have, you know, on your computer, you'll have different folders. And let's say you would be watching a series and you have different episodes of this series. And you know that you're not obliged to see each episode one by one. Of course, you would like to start with the first one and go up to the second, the third one, and so on.
Yeah.
But if you get to the 10th one and then you want to you press the second one, you know, you can watch it again. And they say that this is how our reality is, that everything is there and it's in the same time, and you can access all those reality time frame realities from this present moment, and that the mind needs this continuity and it needs to put things together. Yeah, um, this is how we rely on the memory function. But they say that it's all there. Yeah, you can access them as you wish to. And they try to teach us how to decondition the mind to do so. So this is what, you know, just a few things that I've learned from them until now. And I'm so sure that they, you know, they want to bring much more to us.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Have they talked about if they are reaching out to more people on Earth now to to start channeling them and getting information in?
Oh yeah, this is exactly what they want to do. This is why I'm here, because they say that they would love to connect with more people. They know that they have so much to share, but mostly they want people to be able to tune into the 12th dimensional vibrations. And they say that now certain portals on Earth have been reactivated, and they will be so also, more of them in the next period of time. So probably they are referring to somewhere, you know, end of 2024 and beginning of 2025. And they say that because of this, people have such a good opportunity to tune into their vibration. So they are so willing to connect with us, to guide us, to you know, expand our consciousness so we can become once again aware that we are multidimensional beings. They truly wish us to tune back into our real nature, to let go of the identification with the body, the mind, the role that we are playing here on earth, and to see that we are much more beyond all this. So this is their purpose in this very moment, at this very moment.
Oh, okay. Okay, very good. Were they the ones that showed you how the portals work? How people get through the different, not people, but like ETs, let's say, that don't have a connection to Earth, and you said like they showed you how they jumped the portals. Was it the portals and then through here to then to get to Earth? Was it them?
Well, them in collaboration with the Pleiadians, usually, you know, I channel different higher dimensional beings. So I think the Lyrans brought the topic
Oh,
first
the
because
lion. Okay. Okay. Okay.
they were referring to reopening the portals with Lyra. And then for this to happen, they started to explain on how to do it. And they explained that Earth is not connected directly with Lyra because it needs the portals need to be to connect with different constellations and star systems until they reach Lyra. But yes, the Blue Avians are the ones which are the guardians of these portals.
Okay.
So I haven't asked them yet, but this is a very good idea because I have the feeling that they will actually know a lot about this. Yeah,
Uh,
they say that they are the ones, with whom you would connect when you wish to access the energy of such a portal. And mostly when it comes to portals with different constellations and star systems which are far away. So they would be the ones to guide you on how to do it. They
mm,
are very good with astral traveling. They will teach people how to do it, how to have out of body experiences as well. Because in when you reach these frequencies is when you actually connect with the portals. You can do it, of course, from here in the normal state. We can have different visions and tune into different vibrations. But most of this, I would say, it happens in these higher frequencies when people actually leave the body or they do astral traveling. And this is when they start becoming aware of what it is there beyond this role and beyond this body.
oh,
And
wow.
they would be the one to jump in for these experiences. They would be the ones who would say, learn how to lucid dream or learn how to have an out of body experience because it's totally possible. They would say, well, if some years ago this was really hard for you, nowadays this is really simple. Try it out. And there are so many people there having amazing guided meditations and guided journeys, hypnosis, and so on for having such experiences. And they say, well, now is the time to try it out. It's much more simple than it was before for you because all those portals are open once again. So when you try to reach those frequencies, you have more opportunities to do so than before. Of course, it stays, within each individual and their own experience with meditation and trance state and so on, channeling and so on. But I can feel this, I can feel the difference of how it was a few years ago, just to try to tune into this kind of experiences and how it is nowadays. And I can see it out there. I see so many people sharing their own experiences. So I'm very aware that this actually happens a lot, or at least it happens much more than it happened before. And
Wow.
now, if it doesn't happen for you out there who are listening to this, yeah, don't feel any frustration or so on. Do not compare yourself with others or whatever. Just try it out. Yeah, even if you tried it maybe 5 years ago or 2 years or last year, yeah, give yourself a chance now. And maybe you even wish to do it by connecting with the Blue Avians. I feel that they are very much there to offer you support with this.
Oh, that's wonderful. So I would love to have you channel them to see what they want to tell us.
Oh yeah. So let's see. As as usually, no one needs to do anything when I channel. Yeah, be relaxed. If you feel like drinking more water after, because this probably will be a new vibration, a new frequency for you, then that's all fine. And besides this, just enjoy. And if we can have the sound on, please, you have a button for original sound for music. Oh, I can put it on. Okay. Because if I bring any light language, then it will be nice for, everyone to be able to hear it.
Okay.
Kirana, Nakirana Shanaina, Shikarana Kiarana, Niana Shirana Mana Kina Yashorana Kina Shama, Erena Sharana Kina Mashama Eyanana, urrashkina shayana shinna ranna ennakana humna sharana yana ummana kirana kana Esheyana shenayana niana kina hummayana nina ummayana rashayana. We are delighted to establish such a connection with you all once again. We are here to create bridges, new bridges of communication between the 12th dimension and Earth. You have called us the Blue Avians, and this is because many times we come to you in the form that you can see now on the screen. Though it also happens that sometimes you might experience us in other ways. For example, there are people who experience us as different spheres of blue light or flashes of blue light. This is because we do not actually have any kind of physical body, but we love to take any form that might help you to relate with us, to come closer to us. It is though that during this time we have chosen to show ourselves up as Blue Avians for you to see this energy on your planet as well. Therefore, you will be relating with it, with the birds on your planet, knowing that some of them actually carry our vibration. We invite you to open your hearts and to be always aware that we are coming closer and closer to you. This is because so many of those ancient portals that have been installed on your planet have been fully reactivated, which means that once again, you, dear human being, have the full opportunity to connect with the highest possible dimensions and timelines. We have entitled ourselves as being the guardians of the passages between realities, though our actual role is to be there and to support your transition from the three-dimensional realities, three-dimensional timelines into the higher dimensions. We want you to do so while being in your human body. And this is for the first time in the history of humanity when such a thing happens. You are ascending in your human body, though your human body is changing without you noticing. Your DNA structure is changing. You're aligning your mind and all of your subtle bodies with those highest vibrations, and you do so gradually. Therefore, once again, you're becoming aware of your multidimensionality, realizing that there are so many aspects of yourself that you were not aware of. Though we are here to support this transition. We want you not to feel scared at all. You are expanding your wings. You are becoming aware of what you truly are. You let go of the limited perception that you are just a human body with a certain mind and person. And the human being is amazing. Do not get us wrong. Being a human being is such a wonderful gift, and mostly being a human being on earth at this time is an amazing gift. Though you have different aspects in different realities, and in some of them you are not in a human form, and in others you might not even have any form at all, because there is substance of creation beyond physicality. Therefore, in some realities, you're very much like a light being or a sphere of light, or you manifest yourself in different light waves of different vibrations. We want you to help you to integrate this information. to become aware of it step by step, to awaken to your multidimensionality in ways in which your mind can adapt to that. Though we know as well that you're leaving aside any limited programs, any limited beliefs, and you're ready now to embrace those highest possible intentions or affirmations that create your reality. And in this case, we gladly bring to you one such intention. We have called it an intentional key, and that intentional key says time flows backward, which creates a paradox that is meant to shatter your own mind and the perception of your mind upon time being linear. We want you once again to remember that time is a concept and to become aware of its fluidity so you can play with it. For you once again to access different time frame realities as you are meant to do and to travel in time as your soul really wishes you to do. For this to happen, keep your heart open. Know that we are here with you. Know that as you receive now this transmission, you're going to receive many others. And as you continue to listen and to open your heart further, we'll be coming closer and closer to you. Eyana sharaninan, sharanakina horna sherena. Eyana shirena kunne sherena ma. Shekayana sharana mena. Kiarayana kishama nerena. Kiana sherena ku. So, thank you for receiving this transmission, for listening to them, for opening your heart to, just to tune into their vibration. Because I know that as you do it, so many others have the opportunity to do it. They always say that whenever someone receives such a transmission, this transmission comes then to the collective as well. So I know that this is possible. So thank you very much for listening to this.
Absolutely. It's absolutely my pleasure. And if they ever want to come back and deliver any other messages, they're more than welcome to.
Well, I'm sure that they will come back, and I'm sure that they will try to connect with many others who will listen to this transmission. And if you have any questions about the Blue Avians, or if you wish to read more transmissions, because I usually channel them through automatic writing, though I started recently to channel them in this direct way as well.
Yeah.
But you will find many written transmissions on the Facebook page Pleiadian Transmissions of Light and Love. You'll find information on holographicu.com. You'll find information on channeler.org, which is a new platform that aims to bring many channelers together with their amazing transmissions. So please check all those, but mostly talk about the Blue Avians. If you start receiving messages from them, share their messages. If not, maybe you just bring them into other people's attention by saying that you have listened to this transmission, that you know about them, that you know who they are and what they do and how they can help us. However you feel like doing so, please listen to that call. Have trust in your own intuition.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Awesome. Well, that was my next question is how people can get a hold of you. And so you told everybody, so that's fantastic. Anything else you want to tell us before we go?
Just, stay in that space of love and silence, which they say, the Pleiadians say, but the Blue Avians, I'm sure that they would confirm it, is always there within you. Tune into that space, and this is how you raise your vibration. It's not about becoming something or becoming someone. It's really about letting go of that and tuning in what you are. And what you are is always there and it never changes. So don't tell yourself stories like I cannot channel, I cannot connect with them, other people can do it, other people have certain gifts, I don't have them. But rather turn back to that space of pure unconditional love, and this is how you're going to reach them, or they are going to reach you. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, Elisa, for this and for your time and, for bringing this out there. And really, if anyone has any question, come back to us and we will gladly reply to it.
Oh,
Thank
and
you so
something else
much.
too that you didn't mention is the Telegram channel, the Mastery School as well. So,
Oh yeah, we have a community, an online community on Telegram, and we stay very much connected there. We share transmissions, and it's not only an online group, but we actually meet. We actually receive missions from different higher dimensional beings, and sometimes we travel all over the world together. My aim is to connect star seeds in this community, not really connecting them, like you do in a Facebook group, but connecting them in a closer way. I am really trying to bring people together. And that's because I know that many of you out there, you feel lonely. You might feel that you just awakened to the fifth dimensional reality and there are not so many people like you around. So I created this reality for you to have the opportunity to actually be in touch with others who are like you. And I see that this actually happens and I'm so happy. So if you wish to have the link, if you wish to join us, please ask me for the link and I would gladly share it with you privately. Thank you.
wonderful. Thank
And
you,
thank you, Elisa,
Octavia.
for bringing this up.
Absolutely. And thank you to the Blue Avians for everything. I'm sure we'll talk to them soon. Take care, everybody.